Hello, this is a tutorial on how to use AutoCAD Web Edition to do a practice CAD drawing. We're going to do this drawing right here. So this is CAD Practice Drawing number 2. And I like to begin these by really looking at my drawing and try to get a sense of like its size. So I'm going to look at the overall dimension. So from top to bottom, it's 80. And then from left to right, it looks like it's broken in half, 40, and then in 40. So this is roughly a square object, even though we've kind of cut some corners here, and then we have some features here called a fillet. Kind of looks like fillet, but it's a fillet. And we've got this what we call an inside corner here, this R15 top and bottom, and then you've got an outside corner on this R10 right here. And we've got 6 circles, one big one and 5 little ones that we're going to do. So that is kind of where we're at. And I'm also going to try and think, like, where am I going to put this on my page? Since this is an 80 by 80 square, I'm going to put my center point right at the 40-40. So that's exactly going to be the center, and I'm going to kind of base everything off of that. So we flip back over to my AutoCAD window, and I'm going to do a new drawing. And I've started to do something now that I recommend to do everything in, as I work in layers, I like to have a couple of different layers. So by default, you have this 0 layer. That's your base bottom layer. So I'm going to create a layer, and I'm going to call that construction. And I'm going to change the color of the stuff there. And it doesn't matter, just something so it's different than white. So I might make that construction green. And then I'm going to hit layers, the plus sign, create a layer again. And I'm going to create what's called an object layer. And I'm going to leave that white. And then I'm going to actually come over here to the top of this, underneath the ribbon. And I'm going to choose my layer. I'm going to work in the object layer. Okay. Another button that's really going to be helpful to you is this up here that's called Zoom Extents. I click that. And what I really want is I want to see this x equals 0 green line. So this vertical line, which represents your x equals 0. And then down here, barely see at the bottom, is a red line, which is your y equals 0. So I will start this drawing, and let's go back and look at it. It's going to be I'm going to start with the circle right in the middle at 40-40. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to click the circle button. And I want to point out down at the bottom of the screen, this says circle, specify center point for circle, or 3-point, 2-point, or tangent radius. So these are different ways to draw circles, but we're going to do a center point. So I'm just going to type in my XY coordinates. So that's going to be 40, 40, because that's the center of my thing. And now it's telling me specify the radius of the circle. And I'm going to go back and look. And that circle with a line through it means diameter. So the diameter of that circle is 40. Now, geometry tells us that the radius is half of that. So my diameter should be 20. Or I can click down here on this command line, click diameter, and now it says specify the diameter of the circle, and I can just type in 40. So when you get into like really big numbers or odd numbers or fractions or anything like that, being able to put the diameter in exactly is very helpful. So I've got my circle. Now I'm going to start going around the edge of this thing. So I'm actually going to draw. I'm going to do a line on the x equals 0. I'm going to start here, and that little line is 30 units long, which means and this is broken right in half. So I'm going to assume that midline is 40 units across, or 40 units up. So that's going to be a 0, 50 for this top point, and then 0, 30 for the bottom point. So I will flip back over to my drawing. I'm going to go to my line tool, So there's your line tool. And here it says specify your first point. So x equals 0, y equals 50. I hit enter. It says now specify your second point. So I can go 0, 30, enter, and that's drawn. Now I can just keep going around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at here. So I need to go from that point down to this point over here, which is, I just made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Not a huge mistake, but I made a mistake. So I'm going to go back and fix that mistake. So this is 30 units wide, which means it's 15 above and 15 below. So that should be 55, and that should be 25. So I'm going to hit undo. So this is your undo button. And I'm going to go to draw. This is the thing. I mean, we all make mistakes, and I make mistakes more than most. So my first point now is going to be 0, 55. 0, 55. And then second point is 0, 25, because it's 25 above 40 and 25 below 40. Now, this is going to be, because this line down here is only 20, that's going to be 30, 0, and then 50, 0. So my next point is going to be 30, 0. And then the next point after that is going to be 50, 0. Okay. Let's see okay, that's looking kind of like the same. Now this next one is a little bit more of a challenge. So I have to look at this drawing and I see that this little thing back here is 50 units wide, which means it's 25 below 40 and 25 above 40. So 40 minus 25 is 15. So this line right here is going to be 15 above. And I'm going to go straight up because right now I'm going to draw this as a squared off corner, and then we will come and put the fillet in later. So that's the trick to this. That's the whole point of this assignment, is learning how to do these fillets. So I'm going to go, and I could just do this. I could just move my cursor up here so that I'm drawing a straight line, and I could type in 15 into that and hit enter. And I can come over here and I'm going to draw this, and this has got to be, let's see, from that point over the edge is 30. It actually is labeled right up here. It's labeled 30, so that's going to be 30 long. So I'm going to get my line so it's horizontal. I'm going to type in 30, enter. And then this one's going to go up, and remember this one goes up 50, enter. And I'm going to come 50. Escape. All right, I'm going to undo. Okay, because I don't know what that was. So I hit undo down in this command line. I'm going to get this thing going back. I'm going to go back 30 again. So 30, enter. I'm going to go up 15. I'm going to go over 20. And then I'm going to just kind of go back to finishing that thing. And then I'm going to hit escape twice. No, we'll click there. And then I'm going to hit enter to get out of my line tool. So that's roughly the outside. Now, this is the whole trick of the assignment. It's coming up here to this modify part of the ribbon where it says fillet. I'm going to click on the fillet. I'm going to look down here in my command line. It says select first object or radius. I want to click on radius because I want to set my radius. And going back to here, I want to do these inside corners, which are R15. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to type in 15 down here, hit enter. So now it says my fillet radius is 15. Now I can select the first object and then the second object. And that puts that in there. So now I'm going to do fillet again. And the cool thing about AutoCAD is that it will remember what you did. Excuse my dog barking in the background here. So it remembers the last one was radius of 15. So it does that again. So now I'm going to do the fillets for these. I'm going to go and change the radius because these are now R10s. So I hit radius down at the command line, type in 10, enter, and then I select these two lines. And then I'm going to do one last fillet. So go back to my fillet tool, or I can actually type F for fillet. That's a keyboard shortcut. Hit enter. The radius is still 10. And that is the shape that you're doing. Now what's left to do is these 5 circles. And these circles are all radius of, well, they're diameter of 10, radius of 5. There's 5 of them, and all you have to do is locate them. So this first one is going to be at x equals 40, and I'm doing this bottom one, x equals 40, and then I'm going to come down 30 from 4, so x 10, so it's 40 comma 10. So we'll come down here. I'm going to zoom extents again. Going to fill up my page. I'm going to go to my circle tool, or I'm going to type C for circle. It says specify your center point. So that's going to be 40 comma 10. Enter. Specify the radius, or I'm going to click diameter. I'll make that diameter 10. Enter. And that's the first one. Now my next ones are going to be 30 between the two, which is 15 below 40 and 15 above 40, which is going to be 25 and 55. And trying to see, it tells me that this is a radius of 10. So this is going to be 10 units. This is it's kind of weird. This is going to be 10 below or short of the full 80. So that's going to be x equals 70. This bottom will be x equals 70, comma 25. The second will be x equals 70, comma 55. So 70, 25 and 70, 55. So come back, type C for your circle, type in your center point, 70, comma 25, enter. And it already has a radius of 5, so hit enter again. And then it's done. So but now we can go really fast. C, enter. Look down here, 70, comma 55, enter, enter. Now we got to do this one that's straight up above. That's going to be 40, comma 70. So C, enter, 40, comma 70, enter, enter. And this last one is going to be right over here, which is going to be x equals 10, because it shows it right here, and 40. So we'll type in C, enter, x equals 10, comma 40, enter, enter. And that is our complete drawing. To print, we click down here at the bottom, it says layout 1. There's your thing. I'm going to click this print icon, plot to PDF. Again, I made another mistake. And this, when it shows me this, it shows me the paper size is ISO A4. That's not correct. I'm going to click cancel. I'm going to come over here to this layer properties. I'm actually going to try and choose the object is continuous. I want the layout properties. So I want this, select this whole layer. And it's not giving me what I want. So I'm going to click back to model, back to layout. just select. Layers. Oh, properties. Properties up here in this object properties. So I'm clicking this properties up here, changing my paper size to letter, 8.5 by 11. Now that's the proper size for us to print in the classroom. Now I can click this plot button and it says what to print, current layout, scale is 1:1, plot style is none, paper size is letter, which is what we want. We click plot and then it prepares it, and when it's done, it says PDF is generating. When it's done, you can download it. So now it's done. I can download the PDF, and this PDF is what you would turn in. You could print this on our printer in the classroom and turn it in.